going to be putting in a pyrometer in my 7.3 IDI. Got this off eBay for about $16. So it's a Chinese pyrometer sent by Dragon Gauge. 2-inch gauge, goes up to 1200 degrees Celsius. Probably can't make it out. It does light up though. We got 4 wires. The orange and green ones are for the temperature probe, and the red and black is for a power to it. And you got the probe itself, which goes into the exhaust manifold. And you gotta drill it and tap it in, screw this part in. You got the color gauge pod, which did not come with it. I just had it laying around. This was a 2 gauge cluster pod, but just cut it in half. Just put it right there. Now I'm gonna take some of those plastics off and see. Find a wire I can splice into that has a 12 volts to it only one with the ignition on and not constant. Got the gauge itself installed around the pillar. You put these wires, the 4 wires come out of some blue heat shrink so it looks better. If you want to completely eliminate that, you could drill a hole in the pillar around inside of it, but I didn't want to do that. That's good enough for me. It doesn't bother me. Besides, you can hardly even see them if you look in there harder. So they go through there. And I have the ground wire for it. I don't know how well you can see this, but see that connection right there. That's where the windshield washer switch grounds out, and that's where I grounded the pyrometer gauge at. And after the 12 volt positive, which you need only 12 volts on, is when the key is on. I spliced into the wiring harness right here. This is for the fuel tank select switch. That's the constant 12 volt to it when the key's on to the switch, which is right here. So now just you gotta drill a hole in the firewall for the probe wires to come through, and then drill in, tap a hole in the exhaust manifold and put the temperature probe in. Got the temperature probe finally through the firewall. What I did was, we have this big black rubber grommet right there where those wires come through. I pulled it out, drilled a hole in it, and cut a slot in, which you can see right there, and just ran the probe wire through there, and this is where it hooks into the wires that go to the gauge. I don't know if the camera can yeah, there you go, right, those 2 wires right there. Yeah, I can't even see where it comes out and way down in there, but that's where it comes, and there it is. And so now I gotta pull the wheel off and pull the inner fender well out and get to the exhaust manifold and drill and tap it. And that's the next morning. Got the wheel and the inner fender well out. So that's, I don't know if you can see that, but right here, this is the driver's side exhaust manifold. I'm gonna drill and tap the hole like somewhere right in there. Broke most of the screws off because they're so rusted. You can see the inner fender well. Some fiberglass insulation sort of stuff. Very nasty. Got power steering looking on it or something like that right there. You can see just how rusted this truck is. It's all gone. It's rusted and everything, but it's gone there. But it's rust bits everywhere. But this is not even the original front clip on it. It's got this was supposed to be a brick nose, but it's got the newer front end on it, which, yeah, it's already rusted up that bad. But you get the point just how rusty this truck is. But it runs and drives, all I care about. So yeah, now we'll get to drilling and tapping the hole. Got the pilot hole drilled. Now just keep enlarging it until I get to the size here for the tap, which is 21/64. You gotta be careful drilling those cast iron manifolds. They crack easy. It's quite easy to break the drill bit off and way down in there, but I'm using some of this automatic transmission fluid to lubricate the drill bit so it cuts better. Now I have to go up another 2-3 sizes to the final size and tap it. Got the hole drilled finally, all the way to the size 21/64. Now just to tap it. You have to tap right here. Now you don't want to tap it in all the way because this is a tapered tap, and it's supposed to screw in all the way and it tapers, and that's how your bung for the probe seals. So if you tap it all the way through, just tap, it won't seal properly. So just tap it in a little bit and take it out and check the fitting. So we'll get to it. Oh, there you go, I got the hole finally drilled and tapped completely. Didn't break any drill bits off or taps in there, which is a good thing. Just, can you imagine the joys of extracting a broken drill bit or tap, the location that is? Yeah, you get the point. Wouldn't be fun, probably have to remove the whole exhaust manifold to do that, but that didn't happen. It's a good thing. So now just to install this into the manifold. It's a tapered end that screws in. And this end is where the probe goes in. The probe right here. And run that down, and here's the cap that tightens onto that and with the probe. And you also get a copper crush ring, so it seals. There we go, tapping the hole. That almost done. Check it for fitting. Got the bung for the probe already threaded in. The exhaust manifold, put copper ICs on both sides of the threads. Now for the probe, which is this. So you get the little, let's show you, little copper pressure ring on there. You got the locking nut on the back. So you just stick this all the way in and tighten it up, and that's it. Then you gotta tie up the rest of the lead for it. You should probably coil it up and zip tie it to the wiring harness somewhere around here. Well, that's it. The pyrometer is completely installed. Look at the wire comes out. The firewall right there next to that wiring harness. Got it tied up right there with zip ties, and it's the probe and the exhaust manifold. Left this kind of loose so it doesn't break off as the engine vibrates. So yeah, now just to put the inner fender wall back in and put the wheel on. Well, here it is, all put back together. Put the wheel on, fender well in, the wiring tied up, let's go try it out.